I definitely think that schools should mandate students to participate in physical tasks such as resistance training and jogging. It helps students stay healthy and develop discipline in maintaining their fitness. I remember when my school held a physical fitness test and everyone had to do jogging around the field. It was tiring, but afterward I felt stronger and more energetic. Furthermore, physical activities can reduce stress and improve student focus in class. This means they can perform better academically and mentally. For example, students who exercise regularly tend to have better concentration during lessons. They also become more confident in participating in sport and group activities. So that's why I believe schools should make physical tests mandatory for all students. The reading procedure announces a new university policy that limits relative from visiting student dormitories for more than 3 nights. It's meant to prevent disturbances and protect student study time. The man against this idea to start his says visits are really inconvenient if guests are respectful and ask permission first. He also thinks such a visit can improve relationship between relatives. He also mentioned that visit can strengthen relationship. He adds that the rule would be unfair to students in a single dorm who must find the other places for their visitors. In conclusion, he believes that policy is unnecessary. According to the reading, hilltopping is a mating behavior in which male insects travel to high places like hills or mountain peaks. This behavior helps them increase their chances of finding mates by being more visible to females. In the lecture, the professor delves deeper into this subject by explaining how male Agahana butterflies climb mountains about 2,500 meters. They do this not to find food or rest, but to compete intensely with other males for mating territories. The professor goes on to say that male tarantula hawks also show similar hill-topping behavior. Largest male usually occupy the highest peaks, but mating can still happen along lower hills. So after listening, I now have a better understanding of hill-topping as a behavior driven by competition and mating success. In the lecture, the professor explained how business build connection with customers through social and economic relationships. This connection helps companies increase customer loyalty and sales. First, the professor talks about special relationship. He gives an example of a woman who wanted to buy a supplement but was unsure. After talking with a helpful staff member, she felt confident and decided to buy it, showing how personal interaction builds trust. Secondly, the professor describes economic relationship. He shares his own experience using a Starbucks coupon, which influences his decision to buy there. This shows how discount and coupons can motivate customers to return. To make a long story short, business builds social and economic connection to strengthen customer loyalty and increase profits. Personally speaking, I felt that I prefer to work in a relaxed environment. It helps me stay calm and focused. I remember when I worked at my sister's place, it wasn't stressful. I get to my job well because I wasn't under pressure. In addition, working calmly makes me more productive. I can think clearly and avoid mistakes. For example, I finished all my tasks on time. My sister even praised me for my good work. So that's why I enjoy a relaxed environment more than working under pressure. It makes me more happier and more efficient. The reading passages announces that the university will add more exercise machines in the gym to respond to student complaints. This plan is made because the number of students has increased and the equipment is not enough for everyone. The reading passages announces that the university will add more exercise machines in the gym to respond to student complaints. This plan is made because the number of students has increased and equipment is not enough for everyone. He also mentioned that the university already provides many facilities for physical activities. For example, there are swimming pools, running pads, and sport teams available for students. In conclusion, he believes that proposal is unnecessary and a waste of money. The reading passages describe a concept known as the law of diminishing returns, which means that when more labor is added to fixed resources, the extra output will eventually decrease. This concept helps explain why production does not always increase with more input. The professor elaborates in this concept with a specific example. First, he explained that when a factory keeps hiring workers, production rises at first but later slows down because of overcrowding. He goes on to say that after a certain point, adding more workers can even reduce efficiency. This shows how too many input can hurt overall productivity. So after listening, I now have a better understanding of the law of diminishing returns. It clearly shows that there is a limit to how much extra input can improve production. In the lecture, the professor explained two programming styles, practical programming and object-oriented programming. He says both are important methods used to design and organize software. First, the professor talks procedural programming, which focuses on a series of steps or procedures to complete a task. He gives an example like using separate functions to read data, calculate the result, and print output. Secondly, the professor described object-oriented programming, which is based on objects that include both data and function. He explained that an example of an object could be a student with properties like name and action like enroll or study. So that's why the main difference is that procedural programming separates data and function, while object-oriented programming combines them into one unit. This makes object-oriented programming better for large or complex projects.